Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm looking at your faces. Some of you I know very well, some of you I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm like, oh, it's so good to see you here. I miss you. And some of you I'm just encountering for the first time. Thank you for being here. My name is Virginia Rosenberg. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm so happy to co host this free embodied astrology class with my dear friend, Rochelle. Rochelle, can you introduce yourself?
Hi there. I'm really honored to be here and really inspired by all the experiences when we can meet. And so, harvesting the collective wisdom that's available to us at this time from Leo to Virgo.
Yes. So, Rochelle has been a huge mentor for me and inspiration. And she and I have a lot of shared philosophical and spiritual interests and interests in sky and earth and body and movement. And our work has been interweaving alongside each other for many years. So, it's really special to co lead this class today. So, just individually, I'm an intuitive astrologer, and my core philosophy is that we're all astrologers. It's in our bones that astrology is a description of our experience of life as humans in relationship with the more than human world, the earth, the cosmos, the stars, etc. And I'm more interested rather than in like book learning of what the signs mean and what are the meanings of the fixed stars, etc. I'm more interested in our direct personal experiences and learning to identify astrological influence through our direct lived experience and also through our kinesthetic embodied experience. So that's what we're going to do together here is embody the archetypes of Leo and Virgo today, since we're shifting a solar season. We're shifting out of the tropical Leo solar season and into the sun moving into the tropical sign of Virgo. So we're going to experience and take a moment together to really presence and embody that shift that the sun is making. We're also going to be reflecting a bit on Mercury's journey. So, more than the sun and Mercury travel close alongside each other. And the sun represents our conscious self, our illuminated, awake, conscious experience. And Mercury represents the messenger. Mercury is the messenger. Mercury is a planet of the mind, our thought processes, our communication, and these bodies travel close together, and they're usually not very many signs apart from one another. So Mercury is also making this retrograde journey around this cusp area currently of Leo and Virgo. So we'll be integrating that process that we've been in with the recent Mercury retrograde season as well during the class today. But it's not going to be from a mental place, from a learning place, a studying place. It's really going to be from an experiential embodiment place. Rochelle, can you tell us a little bit about how you lead and what experience you want to invite people into?
Mhm. Yeah, so my passion has been offering a practice called Qoya-inspired movement, which is based on the idea that through movement we remember our essence is like nature, wise, wild, and free. And so I invite you to take a moment and maybe you can recall a memory of a time where you felt wisdom viscerally in your body. And sometimes we use language like I feel it in my bones or I know it in my gut. But as we do the movement today with embodying astrology, just really looking for those places to notice when you're moving and there's a resonance where you feel that wisdom as part of yourself. And then with the wild, I think of wild as this place of our true nature, like those opportunities when we get to observe nature in its natural state. And it can be so awe-inspiring, so harmonizing, and so educational that I think there's so much for us to learn when we can unlearn the habits and conditioning in our bodies of how maybe we think we're supposed to move or how it's supposed to look. So the orientation here is really to focus on how it feels and what feels resonant and what emerges from that place. And then with free, I think of, the one of the most big realizations that astrology can offer us is this opportunity to engage and to choose. So the freedom to choose and to notice what is going to be the most nourishing path with the energies as we experience them. So as Virginia's leading and as I'm leading, I'm really passionate about this way that Virginia is so committed to sharing astrology, but I'd also offer us to explore it like anything in our life is just what does it look like when we include the wisdom of our bodies and the conversation that's happening in the greater interconnected world of nature and the stars. That's what I got.
Thank you. Yay. Yes, I'm excited because I teach a lot, and many of you have been in my classes, and I do a lot of talking and a lot of lecture, and we do a lot of collaboration in class. And today is going to be a little bit different if you're used to the classes that I teach. Today, I want to invite you to be wearing comfortable clothing that you can move in, and to be in a space where you feel free to move. And you can also keep your camera off, whatever is going to facilitate you just having an encounter with your own being, your own body, whatever is going to facilitate you really being present and really present with the sensations of your body and the direct experience that you're having. So sometimes when when you're being observed, or when you feel like someone might hear you, or there could be these interferences or distractions in the environment. And if that's the case, maybe you can prepare yourself to just take that in stride, or you can take a moment to relocate to a place where you can be more private and present with yourself and your experience. Please also have a journal and a writing utensil, because the arc today will be doing a Leo archetype embodiment, and then we'll do some brief journaling and integration about that. And then we'll have a Virgo archetype embodiment. And then we'll do some brief journaling integration. And then we'll have some time and space to share together as a community about what it is that we're feeling, sensing, noticing, beginning to be aware of and understand about these archetypes, or just about whatever arose for us personally throughout the experience. And then we'll close together. So that's where we're going today. And I often hear people say, because I teach in astrology school, like, what is this cusp? Well, I don't understand cusp. And a cusp is this zone between signs where, so right now we're right on the cusp. The sun just moved into the tropical sign of Virgo out of Leo. And so a cusp is that place of transition from one archetype to another. And each cusp between signs, it's like an ending and a beginning point. So what I'd really love today is to just open yourself to whatever experience you're having that will be descriptive of that cusp for you. And for me personally, I'm really looking forward to embodying Leo as a way to just integrate what I experienced in this last solar month, and also as a way to just begin preparing, like it's like fully digesting, like fully savoring what happened in this last month while the sun was in tropical Leo, and also giving myself a moment to transition to this new season of Virgo and start looking in that direction and orienting to this new energy and what that solar season of Virgo brings. So that's what I'm looking forward to personally, and I invite you into that, however it may speak to you. Before we get started, I'd love if you could just share where you are tuning in from and what it is that you're bringing to this space. So, taking a moment to connect in with yourself. It's like taking a pulse of yourself in this moment. And whenever you're ready, if you could share in the chat, where are you tuning in from? And what is it that you're entering in with today? I'm just breathing in your responses, acknowledging all the different time zones, the parts of the world, the qualities of light that are here, the climate, the environments, the weather patterns, the vast array of lived experiences. Hmm. So good to be together. Thank you. Rochelle, do you have any reminders or notes before we begin?
Just would want to reiterate with what you shared around noticing how you can set yourself up in a way to really be with yourself. So just noticing the camera wants to be on or off, and that might change. And really deeply listening to and tending the experience that you're having. So, one of the ways that I often intro movement is imagine there's no way you can do it wrong. And the way you know you're doing it right is that you're staying with yourself, that it feels right and resonant to you. So, just that encouragement again and again that the intention of all of this is to be nourishing and supportive to what brought you to this call.
Yeah, so in the spirit of that, if you like Sarah need to hydrate, please get yourself a drink of water. If you need to visit the restroom or open the window and take a breath of fresh air, or just look outside and orient yourself to the natural light for a second before we begin, let's just have a minute here where we can tend to our needs. And for some of us, that might just mean closing our eyes and enjoying our breath for a few rounds. Okay, and just a little intro on like the quality of movement and being in our bodies that we'll be exploring is there will be music playing, and I'll be speaking and cueing with the music. And one of the central tenets of Qoya inspired movement is that there's no way you can do it wrong. So the way you know you're doing it right is that it feels good to you, or it just feels true to you in the moment. And so leaving behind the concerns that there's going to be like choreography or things that I'm expecting you to like move your arm this specific way. It's not that at all. It's really very, very simple guided movement. And as the lead inquiry is really, how does my body want to move right now? It's like, feel free to off-road, feel free to go off the map, or diverge or deviate from any of the instruction that's coming through. And I'm going to go ahead and get us started now with the Leo embodiment. So we're going to begin really, really simply with just circling the body. So listening for the music to come in. Taking a deep breath here. And whenever you're ready, you can take one ear to one shoulder, letting the head drip down, chin to the chest, other ear, other shoulder. Head comes up and over through the center. So starting so simply, just circling the head and breathing. Looking for the sensation of feeling ready to circle your head the other direction, and following your head's lead to circle the other way.
Light me up, breathe. Light me up and breathe. Light me up. Breathe. Light me up.
Bringing this circle into the shoulders, taking the shoulders up and back, all the way around.
Breathe.
And as you circle the body,
Light me up.
looking for that warming sensation of sunlight when you're soaking up the sun on the beach. It's loosening your limbs, it's relaxing you. Maybe you bring this deeper into the elbows. Imagining that as you circle your body, you can begin to light up from the inside out. Maybe you extend the whole arm and radiate like an inner sun.
Light me up.
You can stay here, or maybe you circle one arm back. Any speed you want, just playing. Circling the other arm. And now bringing your heart into a circle. The same way the earth orbits around the sun. letting your heart orbit. Change directions when you're ready. Bringing this circle down into your hips.
Light me up. Breathe.
As if
Light me up.
the special light
Breathe.
of your being
Light me up.
could shine out through your hips,
Breathe.
through your movement.
Light me up. And breathe. Light
Circling
me
the
up.
other way.
Breathe. Light me up. And breathe.
Maybe turning your whole self around in a circle. Maybe circling your wrists,
Light me up.
but absorbing any last drop
Light me up.
of sunlight from the recent Leo season,
Light
taking
me
it
up.
all the way in.
And breathe. Light me up. Breathe. Light me up. And breathe. Please light me up. And breathe. Please light me up. And breathe.
Letting your light dance you for the rest of this song.
Breathe. Light me up. Oh, please breathe.
And taking your hands to your heart, finding stillness in the body, and just feeling the essence of your light glowing brighter and brighter. Breathing into your light exactly as it is right now. Leo is a sign that's all about the heart. So the next song is going to be heart opening. We're going to take that light and we're going to shine it forward, opening the heart to the front, extending our arms out wide, and shining out the back of the heart, like you're hugging someone shorter than you, rooting through your feet, opening the front of your heart, breathing, shining, radiating the heart light. Exhaling when you're ready, shining out the back of the heart. Moving just like that at your own pace.
Open up your heart and let your music play. Open up your heart and let your music play. Open up your heart and let your music play. Open up your heart and let your music play.
Letting go of that structure, just finding the pulse.
Today is the day.
Finding the beat of the music, the pulse of your heart, letting it move
Let the
you.
music play. So now is the time, and this is the place. Yes,
We're going to take the heart around in the four directions. Plant your feet, heart goes forward, side, back,
Open up your heart.
side.
Music come through.
Heart goes front,
Out of the way.
side,
Get out of the way.
back,
I say,
side. We're going to go faster. Heart front, side, back, side.
let your music play. Open up your heart and let your music play.
Can you go the other way? Heart goes front, other side.
Open up your heart and let your music play.
Back to the beginning. Heart opens front, shining your light. Heart opens back.
And fly beyond words.
Front open.
You will ever need.
Breathing.
The one come and sprout the seed. Your heart will be the one to guide you, fill you up with light and shine.
We have that saying,
shine you through.
Follow your heart.
Your heart is your hope.
And we're going to practice it, letting our heart lead us anywhere around the space. Go. Heart leads, body follows. Let your heart take the throne of this dance. The heart just wants to have fun. It just wants to feel alive. So dance and move in such a way that makes you feel more alive. Dance yourself happier. Let your heart sing. Can you have a little bit more fun with these last moves? And taking a deep breath, maybe placing your hands on your heart again, and notice the difference now compared to 3 minutes ago. Breathing into your pulse. So Leo, an archetype of sunlight, an inner light, an archetype of heart-centered living. Leo is ultimately about self-love and a celebration of self. So this next song is a free dance, meaning you can move any way that you want. But the instruction is, what would it feel like in your body to celebrate yourself and to take yourself as a dance partner and to love yourself really, really well through the duration of this next song. So when the music comes in, enjoy your dance and give it to yourself like a gift.
I love me. I love me. I don't know about you, but baby, I love me. Now everybody say, oh, I love me. I love me.
They gon' say all kinds of things. They'll make jokes about my name. They gon' try to clip my wings, but I'm gon' fly. They'll try to play me like a game. I bet they're too scared of the fame, but I can see it clear when I'm looking in the mirror saying, God made each other right.
I love me.
Full permission to be yourself.
Baby, I love me.
Now everybody say,
Oh, I love me. I love me. 'Cause I'm sexy and it ain't my fault. I ain't waiting on nobody's call. You don't want me, baby, that's your loss. I'll be fine.
I'll be fine,
And you can tell by the way I talk. And you can tell by the way I walk. That
I can see it clear when I'm looking in the mirror saying, God made each other right.
Oh, I love me.
Throw in yourself a personal dance party because there's no one like you on the planet. You're the only one.
I love me. I
love all y'all, but I love me the most. I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast. I love all y'all,
but I love me.
I love me.
Breathing deep and savoring
About you.
the sensations of self-love. Striking a pose at the end here that feels like a signature for you right now, or that just feels really good for your body to rest in for a moment. And thanking yourself for taking a risk of doing an embodied astrology class today. And we'll take a moment to journal, to reflect on our experiences of the Leo archetype, the Leo energy. And I have a couple questions. I'll drop them in the chat and I'll also read them out loud, and then you can journal away. The first is, how does it feel in your body to dance with Leo? What do you notice and sense? What is the essence of your special light? And what does it feel like to celebrate yourself? So taking some time to write down those answers. I see some of you are sharing them in the chat, and that's great. You can absolutely share your answers there, or you can just write them in your journal. And we'll take a few minutes here. right. Did that feel like enough time? Great. Okay. So taking a moment to just appreciate your journey with Leo. 3 songs for your light, your heart, and your love and celebration of self. And savoring that, just like when you've been at the beach for a long day and you feel the sunlight like hours afterwards and how it's soaked into your skin, rather than just moving on to the next section, letting ourselves like linger with that sensation for a moment and let it sink a little bit deeper in. And when you're ready, we'll have some time to share at the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Rochelle to lead our Virgo experience.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Oh. So again, I invite you to notice where your body wants to be in relationship to the computer. Would you like the camera on or off? And one of the things that I think about with the Virgo archetype is the priestess and honoring things as sacred. So the experience is going to be a body scan, but also just as we're beginning to have reverence for the body as we invite each part. And so taking this minute before the music comes in, is there one thing you could do that would ignite this as a ritual? Could it be lighting a candle? Could it be placing something in a sacred way that your eyes might draw attention to? Just a little space, this ritual of reconnecting with your body. As the song starts to come into the space, a body scan is very simple, like how Virgo can be getting into the details, making it simpler, digestible, step by step. So beginning with your feet. And there's really 2 things. One is breath, and the second thing is noticing sensation. So offering your breath all the way towards your feet. With your breath, offering your attention, your presence. And then as you offer, receiving the sensation. What is it like to be walking the path that's yours? Transitioning from Leo into Virgo. Starting to sense the direction you want to go. And then some space here to be with your feet. Moving from your feet to bring your awareness to your legs, offering breath to calves, shins, knees, thighs, and noticing sensation through movement, engaging muscles, the clothes that touch your skin, being with your legs. Virgo is an earth sign, so feeling the physicality of your own body. Noticing the moment that it feels right to you to invite your hips to be listened to, noticing sensation, offering breath. One of the things to be mindful of with Virgo, sometimes the tendency to overthink or overanalyze. So if you notice that at any moment and you want to continue, you can. Another thing you can practice is harmonizing that tendency with sensation. Noticing what it feels like to be with your body, and maybe even inviting that thought to be moved with, experienced. Inviting the core of your body, belly, heart, chest, spine. Offering breath, noticing sensation. There's a thoroughness to Virgo, a discernment. Practicing that ability to notice sensation and then what is most nourishing from what you're noticing. From your center, bringing breath and awareness. Shoulders, arms, hands, fingers. What will you organize? What will you sift through this Virgo season? Rising up to include your neck, your throat, your head, your hair. Noticing what it's like to be influenced by the Virgo archetype, by the way you see, what you hear, what you say. The rest of the song, honoring the interconnection of all of our parts and feeling how the Virgo energy is dancing with you in your life. offering yourself a breath. Virgo, offering this opportunity for our mind and our body connection in ways that are healing. And so I invite us to come into a position where you can stretch. The stretch I'm going to lead is going to be lying on my back, but listening for your body if there's a particular position that feels just right for right now. And that's this other opportunity with Virgo is the rituals, the routines, the sacred spaces that we create for healing, for well-being. So an invitation to bring your knees into your chest, opening up through your lower back, or any other stretch that you choose. Embracing the relationship with Virgo that you're noticing. And then if it feels right, opening your arms like a T, bringing your knees to one side for a gentle twist. If you're in a different position and it feels right to transition following that. Wherever you are, noticing any sensation that's willing to be related with. And for a few breaths, simply being with that sensation, Virgo offers this invitation for presence, awareness, paying attention. Just noticing, does that mind-body connection, that noticing and listening to the body, is there something that you can notice that's important for you to know right now? When you're ready, gently transitioning to a twist on the other side, or if you've chosen something else, going where you feel called. What are the patterns and repetitions, the plans that want to be created or reinforced this Virgo season for you? Asking your body if there's any other position that it needs or wants. And acknowledging that there are times when there's an invitation to drop in and feel that mind-body connection. And we can drop right in. And there are other days where it's a little bit more challenging. So whatever your experience was, offering a breath to let it be that. And then listening for that wisdom of the Virgo season for what's going to be a best next step. Like Virginia invited us in the Leo season to linger. I also invite just to notice the value of that spaciousness to reflect. And then I also have a few questions as journal prompts to offer to the chat. And they are, how does it feel in your body to dance Virgo? What did you notice and sense? What are the daily rituals that bring the sacred into your daily life? Who and what are you in service to? So we'll do a 2-minute journal here for anything that you experience that wants to be anchored that way. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be together in this way.
Wow. I'd love to open the space before we do some verbal shares, just for each of you who's willing to share in the chat a sensation that you're present to right now. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'd like to open the space to hear your voices and see your faces if you're willing to come on camera, sharing anything that came through for you throughout this experience, and just leaving that wide open, just any reflection that feels palpable that you'd like to speak to, that you'd like to anchor in, or that you just feel like sharing would be really great to hear from you. So feel free to unmute yourself. I will start. Let me feel into what I want to share. Well, it's funny because I'm like kind of on vacation right now, but I'm like really ready to come home. And especially in this last day, I've felt like I'm really ready to be back in a rhythm and like working regularly again is what I'm feeling. And so I was present to that because the Leo season just ended. And to me, Leo season is like peak vacation vibes. And Virgo season is that time of year where we do sort of take, we turn that peak vacation energy, we turn that joy into something skillful, something usable, something that we can make with it, you know, something we can do with it. And so I was just tracking that it's not just like the place that I am or anything like that. It's really just the season that I'm feeling ready to be home and back into a routine because I'm feeling that solar transition pretty strongly. So that's something that came up. Yeah, Sarah.
Thank you for the opportunity to share. I would love to be on camera, but I'm literally not dressed right now. I tend to be butt naked at home like all the time. So if maybe one day that'll be appropriate and we can have nude Zoom calls. That'd be great.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling us, even though you didn't show us.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I loved the Leo dance. It felt very easy for me to tap into that energy. I'm already a dancer, like I do Latin dance, and I feel like I just naturally embody that energy. Like my North Node is in Leo, like that's just a part of my journey. So I enjoyed it and it felt very shiny and light and genuine and authentic. Then when we transitioned into the Virgo energy, there was a lot of calls to reflect on the mind-body connection. And for some reason during this particular dance, I was having a lot of challenges with grounding my mind into my body and being okay with that connection. I really noticed this prioritization of my mind in terms of organization rather than my body. And this lack of trust and like safety and like, oh, I want my body to lead my life and my days, not my mind. So I really noticed that because I'm in a big period of spaciousness and like uncertainty with where exactly my feet are going to land in terms of embodying my purpose, in terms of service. Like I have these big dreams and these big goals and this big heart, and I feel like I don't have what it takes quite yet to really make that into reality. So it's like, can I trust that this present moment in my body and what it's leading me to do in each and every day intuitively is safe and enough? Like that's crazy when your mind, like I have so much Aquarius placements in my chart. Um, and I'm a Libra rising. I just like have a lot of air energy and it's very fast moving and I'm like super high intellect. And I feel like I can create so much from my inspired imagination and my spiritual gifts and stuff. So it's like I think I'm afraid of letting those things go, of like if I'm not constantly visualizing or in my intuitive senses or my psychic senses, then somehow I'm disconnected from who I really am, you know? Um, so yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy, that push and pull. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. You're just reminding me of how when we do these embodiment practices, the reflections of the experiences that we have are so unique to our makeup. And yeah, I feel like your share emphasizes that. And I'm seeing that in the chat. You know, some people are like, I have the opposite experience, or I
Oh,
struggled
really?
with Leo, and then Virgo was really great. And yeah, so just
Interesting.
naming that it's so unique depending on, as you were speaking to, like you have a lot of air. And so you tend into these like mental places, and it's like a default. Then when you encounter Virgo as an earth sign in the body, you're like, am I, how do I integrate those
Yeah.
planes? Hmm.
Yeah. I also really appreciated how I felt a sense of Virgo without the critic. Like, I don't really feel like
Mm.
I often experience that, but the way it was presented and brought into the space, it felt very clean and like vital somehow, um, without being constricting. And I really enjoyed that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hi, I'll share.
Yes, great.
The first thing that was so impactful to me was in the Virgo, getting into your feet, and that was potent for me to realize that that's like coming up and happening, because it brought me back immediately to this thing I did with my kids at this camping trip, and it was this log going across a creek, and I balanced across the log, and I was so shaky. And that same sensation came back, and I remember it took 5 minutes for that shakiness to come out of my legs when I did that, and then I just kept doing it over and over again. And so it was such a good reminder to interweave it into this season, to keep that presence and to learn about that more. So that was like the most, that's going to stick with me leaving this call. And yeah, I just have to say how much I appreciate having that body embodiment and those sensations and going in really deep, and then to connect to what's all around. It's so magical. So yeah, I have to say thanks as well for this.
I really want to thank you for your share and voicing that part of embodiment practice, and how you said like weaving those things in, and that when we go into the body, there's such an opportunity for things to come up, for deeper inquiry, for resolution, for insight. And so I just feel that that introduction in the beginning, which was to include the voice of the body, your direct experience. Your share really inspired me into this way of practicing that I feel so devoted to. And so I'm so happy you had such, it sounds like there's like a real resonant insight. Yeah, thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, keep it going. It's the
Thank you, almost named twin.
Yeah, any of you with your hands raised can feel free to jump in.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Tal, Tal. Sorry that it's not on the Zoom. I just want to thank you both, Rochelle and Virginia. What a beautiful space. Thank you so much. Just kind of like Sarah and Rochelle a little bit. When I kind of jumped on a little late, so it was about 15 minutes after you guys started. So I was just kind of catching on to the rhythm. But at one point, when I figured out we were going into like the Leo transition embodiment, I could start to feel like I had some heaviness in my wrists and in my ankles and my feet. And I was like, interesting, as we're moving, but I could feel the playfulness of Leo, and I could just feel like the warmth and just wanting to just remove any heavy weights. So I had to take off like my little scrunchie. I took off like my sandals. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling very restricted. And then eventually I was just able to come right into my body. So I'm Libra Pisces, as far as Libra sun sign, and then Pisces moon, which is just a lot of energy there. But I'm also Taurus rising. So as soon as we went into like Virgo, I noticed like the restrictedness in my body, and I was able, like, I just happened to be my sacred space back here. So I was able to like kind of ground and come into that space. And I just didn't like the rigidness. I kept telling myself, like, I don't like how I just feel like rigidness, in my routine or in my schedule. But I'm very similar to Sarah, intellectual. I like my processes. I like to have certain things in place so I could feel safe. And so it felt very safe being here with you all. And I was able to kind of reflect and just find like that unforced rhythm, but within it being safe for me to like organize myself, like what needs to be done in this next season. So I just felt very connected to my heart. I felt very, again, like playful. I felt warm. I felt safe. It was a big thing for me, just that sacredness of safety in that space. But I also kept feeling a lot of tension in my jaw. So I was just like trying to figure out where all of that was being locked up and stored, and just letting the flow into like my nervous system to flesh it out. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I feel like we got a glimpse of just the experience that you had in your share and the progression of that experience. So yeah, I really appreciate that. It's like you took us there, you transported us to your space and your experience, and I feel like the medicine of the environment and of the experience in your share. So yeah, that was it. It actually helped me contextualize my own experience more. So I appreciate it.
Hiya, can everyone hear me okay? Is it coming through? Awesome. Thank you so much for leading this. It was really sweet to experience all of the archetypes and be with it. I'm a journey dance facilitator, and I do a moon circle with the astrology. And so this was just really neat to be in somebody else's experience and to be held in that, as opposed to being the one making it all happen. And I really appreciate the invitations to just be with what is and experience that. I led a dance last night, and I'm tired, like body tired. And I was trying initially so hard to do the Leo stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down. Like, I can't do this standing up. I'm so tired. So I got on my balance ball and I was like, I'll just do what I can here. And that felt great, just to support myself in that way, but still be able to be with the energy. And it made it a lot lighter and fun when I just did what my body needed and went with what was available. And I also really appreciated the the focus on what is supportive about Virgo season. I'm a Virgo sun, and I feel like we get a lot of flack for, perfecting and refining, but it was really sweet to tune into what are the ritualistic service healing aspects of it, and I'm very excited to take that into Virgo season and be with those practices. So yeah, thank you so much. Really beautiful offering.
Oh, thank you so much for your share. And I loved that imagining, like, that felt really Leo to me. Like, sorry, I partied so much last night. I got to take it easy today. Like right on the cusp of the transition. And since it's come up a few times with that, the way that Virgo can sometimes get a hard time. I have a stellium in Virgo on Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And so it shows up in different ways in my chart, but I really call on it for like that discernment into like what is sacred, And so like that's been the thing that really helps me of like, what is supportive. So I'm grateful and wishing you a great Virgo season and birthday season too.
Hi.
Boo.
Thank you so much, Virginia and Rochelle, two of my favorite peeps, two of my favorite teachers. So grateful for you both in this beautiful class. I've been lucky enough to dance with both of you many times. This time something came through for me, and it's really fun that every time there's like a totally new insight or awareness or yes, yeah, just something that like really hit me today was this. I'm a Leo North Node, and then I also have a stellium in Virgo and a Virgo rising. But what hit me today was a long time ago, a friend of mine said something about, I was like, what do I do with all this Virgo energy? And she was like, when you wake up, drink a glass of water every day. It's like that ritual, and you brought obviously that energy to the class today, just like the sacredness of the ritual. And my go-to in the morning is like drink a cup of coffee, but this morning at class, and that doesn't serve me very well anymore. And so there was this really interesting shift this morning, even though like I want to go to the coffee, you said light a candle or look at an object. And I had this like glass of water with my minerals in it. And I was just like, drink the water. And then as I was drinking the water before we moved with Virgo, I was like this ritualistic honoring of my body for what it really needs and what really helps me is what creates a pathway to step into my light, and to step into my North Node and to step into my inner brilliance and to feel the light, like to feel myself light myself up by the ritual of taking in the thing that the earth and soil of my body needs to be watered and nourished and nurtured. And it just kind of all came through in this way of like honoring this aspect helps, on this path of your chart, your blueprint, your gift, whatever. And it just kind of struck me today. So thank you.
I really want to share in response to that. Thank you, Becca, because I had a similar kind of aha at the end, because the Leo felt very like easy for me and fun, but also like I shared like peak vacation vibes. And then with the Virgo, I felt more sort of distracted, disassociated. Like I have a Virgo South node. So for me, I really associate Virgo with like overwork and self-neglect, like choosing the wrong kind of like habits and patterns with the uses of my time, or not necessarily the wrong ones, but the ones like your coffee versus your water with minerals, the ones that don't like feel supportive and nourishing to me on a deep level. So what I had written down here is like what I'm really interested in continuing to inquire for myself is like, and I think this is really the meaning of the progression of the tropical zodiac is like, how can I let Virgo serve my Leo? so that they're not so disparate and disconnected. And it's not this feeling of like Leo's vacation and Virgo is back to work. It's like, no, what are the rhythms and routines that we can choose that really like sanctify the love and the light and the pleasure and the joy that we found in the last season. So I feel like your share really speaks to that integrative aspect. And yeah, that's what really lands for me as I listen to you. So thank you so much.
Can I say something? I don't know how to raise my hand, actually.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
It's so lovely to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Thank you so much. For me, I am a Pisces and Pisces rising, and I have a lot of flowy, watery elements in my chart. And so often it's hard to grasp things, especially putting them into words, because it's my experience of the world is so much larger than the 3D momentum of where many people reside in. So even just describing what I experience is very hard often. And for me, the Virgo energy has a lot to do with um, having kind of like a canvas quality to it. So it's not really rigid to me. It's not that it's not flexible. It's more like a almost like a funnel for what needs to be healthy and restored. And it's more like the opportunity to harvest or harness what you need to bring into your life next. So for me, it has a lot to do with the harmonizing qualities to my own energy, but also just in general for the collective. It has so much to do with improving what needs to be improved, which can be anything really. So to me, Virgo is not really rigid, although I understand it being experienced that way. So I just wanted to throw that in, that it to me it's a very soothing feminine space still to bring up what needs to be there to be nurtured. Yeah, that's for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. And so good to see you, Marie. And I'm really going to take that word improvement with me. I feel like you just helped me heal I was like, I'm going through a divorce right now, and with a man with very strong Virgo tendencies. But I was like, oh, if I look at it through the lens of improvement, it doesn't feel as awful. But it was like, I really felt the sincerity of the transmission and the way that you experience that canvas quality of Virgo, and like you sharing your experience, like really opened up something for me that I'm really looking forward to the Virgo season of like, what is the canvas I want to create on? And then just that genuine, natural, helpful, supportive desire to improve. Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that. How you started it, I just wanted to say, I thought you described it very powerfully. So, so blessings there. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a burning desire to share? Or a tingling desire?
I want to say one more thing that
Yeah.
came up, Virginia, after you shared, because I felt the same thing. And what came to me was with my kids. And you were, at one point earlier, you were describing Leo as being this vacation and Virgo being, like, oh, work. And I was thinking and reflecting on my kids. And I was like, gosh, this summer, we had a lot of fun, but I really put in place these rhythms and these rituals because they're going back to school after being homeschooled. And I was like, I really set us up for work. And then after you described what came up for you, I was like, that's what I did. We had like so much fun. And I dug deep in those rhythms and in those structures that are sacred and true, to like link into those times that are very structured, but you can still find the resonance, hopefully to tap into, you know, that fun Leo season that, you know, is dwindling for us. So I just wanted to reiterate that I got that too really big, and I'm happy to be there, you know.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And that just reminds me of like part of the power of astrology and these archetypes and understanding these seasonal resonances is like really being able to align with the energies so that we can sort of savor or fulfill the experience that they promise in a way. Because like last summer, for example, we didn't really enjoy our summer that much. Like we just didn't do a lot of summer things. So like this year, that's one way I did employ the Virgo to like make sure that we were gonna have a summer, like a really good summer, you know, because I was like, I have to plan ahead to like really take advantage and just make make a good alignment for myself and my family when the energies are hot, you know, when the energies are hot, they're hot, and we can align with that. And when they're cool or cold, we can align with that. So yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to start to close. I so appreciate you being here and participating and also sharing about your participation and your experience. There are many ways to continue exploring these types of things if you like to. My Foundations of Intuitive Astrology course is available for registration right now if you like are loving astrology and you want to just understand more and begin to learn your own chart at more depth, then that's for that. We also, Rochelle and I have our Embodied Astrology course, which is really just like this, what we did together today, but it's for every single zodiac, and there's a movement ritual and journaling questions for each one. So if you want to make that a part of just your monthly or weekly or daily practice to really dive into the tropical zodiac, then that's we're doing a 50% off for that course. And Rochelle, what do you have?
Oh, I have a program called Lore, which stands for Lifestyle of Reverence every day, where there's a half an hour live movement session. And so I'm offering 50% off that to join. So if this like connecting with the body is something that feels nourishing and supportive to you with Virgo season, there's that. I also offer embodied astrology readings where we can look at your chart and make a movement ritual of a Qoya class based on your chart. So if any of those things feel inspired, thank you. I'll put the links in the chat too.
I'm just like embodied astrology readings where you get to embody your own chart. Okay. This is why Rochelle is one of my favorite people, because she's very avant-garde. but like extremely grounded at the same time.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you'll all get a follow-up email with the recording and the playlist and links for these and the discounts and all of that. So, and I just want to acknowledge too, because this came through for me when I was doing the Virgo portion, that there's so many people here on this call that I just love and appreciate so much. And I've been like very immersed in my 3D reality life lately, and I was reflecting on how the internet life sometimes feels like it's not even real or it doesn't even exist. But then we get together and we gather, and I'm like, no, these people are very real, and my relationships with them are very real and significant. And I see your faces here and read your names, and I'm just like, I love you so much. And we've had such powerful and meaningful experiences together. And I just wanted to to name that. And I'm also really grateful for Auburn Lilly and Emily Bruce, who are here right now, who are on my team and support this work. And they just do a stellar job at helping all of this run flawlessly. So for all of you who are here and all the variety of relationships that we have, whether that's you've done classes with me before, or we've been on retreat together before, or you've just like read my words. I'm just so deeply, deeply touched and thankful